All right. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our discipleship review. We just want to kind of go over what we talked about a little bit last week in our discipleship discussion, and we were kind of overviewing Ezekiel. And I won't go into detail about what was said, but the main thing that stood out and the thing that was really awesome and great to hear was just the growth within Ezekiel, like the better understanding that people now have of Ezekiel compared to when we first started studying the book of Ezekiel. And when we first started studying, before we went into the scriptures, and the simple question was asked, what do you know about Ezekiel? And for most of us, we asked every single person who was a part of the group. And for most of us, we knew that Ezekiel was a prophet. That was that's what we knew. And then a couple other people knew about the dry bones story. But that was just about it. But I think if you like from our discussion this past week, everybody has a better, more in-depth knowledge and understanding of the book of Ezekiel. It's now not just a book where it's just a prophet talking to people, but now it has some meaning and some application that I can actually like apply to my lives. Um and so that's always the goal, is to grow, to become better, have a better understanding of the word, and not just to know it just to know it, but to know it to be able to apply it to our lives. And I think most of the people who attended, who put in the work, because it's not just us giving them that information, it's them reading and studying and generating their own information,
Yeah,
and just coming with an open mind, and putting in the work, the effort, and it's showing off, it's paying off. We can see the results. Everybody had a lot more information to add to the book of Ezekiel besides him being a prophet. Actually,
right.
nobody even really said about him being a prophet. It just kind of, well, we already know that, but it's a more in-depth understanding of the book now, which is just great and awesome. And this even goes for me and Eric himself also.
Absolutely.
We were both within that same realm of, we knew he was a prophet. Eric brought up the dry bones, and that was pretty much what I knew. But after studying it, I now see God, I see Christ in Ezekiel. I see the overall scheme and the overall kind of plan that God had and used Ezekiel for. And it just really, great to have that growth. And so that was one of the things that just really impacted and stood out to us this week in our discussion. And yeah, Eric.
Yeah, and just along those same lines, um, our our focus, being really transparent, our focus, myself, Richard, Minister Harvey, our focus is to create an environment where growth can happen, where it not can happen, where it'll be most effective, where it's encouraged, where it's expected, where we, and I say we because myself, Richard, Minister Harvey, we are part of the group. Yes, I mean, we're facilitating it, but we are part of the group. We are growing ourselves. That is our objective, to grow with the group. And so, um, in that vein, I just really want to encourage, if you haven't been able to prioritize coming to Zoom on Saturdays, if you've been intimidated, if you think, oh, it may be too much, it really, I love how Richard just put it. Like, the people who have put the time and the intentional effort in have definitely gotten something in return. They have gotten something back. God's word is just amazing like that. It's not me, it's not Richard, it's not Minister Harvey. It's God's word that is just amazing if you give it time and intentional study, it will speak to you. It is a relevant word. It is a living word that is not, oh, we're talking about Ezekiel, and that was, a couple hundred, if not, 1,000 years ago. I'm not good with time. I shouldn't even started that, but however long ago it was, you would think, I mean, that's over. It's done with. But no, there is still relevance even in studying that book, not because of Ezekiel, but because it's God's word, and God's word is forever living. And so, um, just know that we are continuing to create environments. And so, we ask you to join. Um, in our discussion this week, we asked you, if we don't already have your email address, please give us your email address if you want to be included in where we are moving into the next phases of our learning environment, our discipleship environment. We want you to be a part of it. We don't want you to feel like it's too late for you to join. There's still time. There's still room. There's plenty of space, plenty of opportunity for you to join our discipleship ministry. So, yeah, having said that, you see the information for excuse me, for our group. If you are interested, you can put your email address in the comments of this video. We'll make sure to get it. And we'll be sending you an invitation to a new learning environment, not completely new, but a enhanced learning environment. You can see my email address is there. You can email me directly. We want to grow with you. That's as simple as I could put it. We want to grow with you. So if you're interested in growing, if you've been talking about growing, if you don't know the ins and the outs of what it looks like to grow, give us a chance. Try us out. Come, put in the time, put in the work for yourself, and see that, growth really, it's a choice. It's a choice that all of us can make. It God is it's not about us. God will cause us to grow if we give him the time, the effort, the attention, the energy. He will make sure that we grow. So that's pretty much it. Anything else from you, Rich?
I was just gonna say, like, just as you were talking about growth, and like growth is not um com- comparable. Like we're not trying to compare growth. We're not saying, oh, this person grew more than this. Like everybody grows at their own pace, the pace that God has set for them. And that's all we're trying to achieve, just for you to grow at the pace that God has set for you to grow. And
Yeah,
so we're not trying to get everybody to a certain level. We're just
right,
pushing for growth. That's
right,
pretty much
right.
it.
Yeah, you don't have to be me. You don't have to be Richard. You don't have to be anybody else. It's at your own pace. Um, the only other thing, as we're talking about it, growth has to be intentional. I
Mhm.
We keep saying that it has to be intentional. To just, I mean, you could attend service, you could be present in the building, you could be present virtually, but growth requires intentional. I'm going to read it to understand it for myself. That's
Yeah.
what we're doing. That's what we're attempting to do. That's the environment we're attempting to create, and that we are creating. We are creating that environment. So join us. Can't put it any simpler than that. Join
Yeah.
us. Want to grow with you. Other than that, have a great rest of your Monday. Hopefully, we'll see you Saturday.